Hello everyone, I am Ratika Roy Bhattacharya. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Study Together. Today we are going to discuss Knowing Microorganisms chapter. First of all, we will discuss about organisms. What are organisms? Any living entity is known as organism. Anything which has life, which is made up of cells, can be termed as organism. Example, plants, animals, birds, microorganisms, etc. can be represented by the term organisms. Organisms are basically broadly divided into two categories based on their sizes. First is microorganism, second is macroorganism. When the size of an organism is too small that they cannot be seen with the naked eye, they are known as microorganism. We always have to use an instrument called microscope to view them. Whereas macroorganisms can easily be seen with a naked eye. There is no need of using a microscope to view them. If we want to see the detailed structure of macroorganism, we can definitely use a microscope, but in normal case, if you want to see it normally, you don't have to use a microscope. You will be better understanding this by getting an example. Plants, humans, animals, or other higher organisms are the examples of macroorganisms, whereas bacteria, fungi, virus, these are all the examples of microorganisms. Now we will see what microorganisms are. First of all, I would like to tell you the study of microorganisms is known as microbiology. These microorganisms are cosmopolitan in nature. Cosmopolitan means they can be found anywhere, like soil, water, air, food, clothes, etc. You must be wondering what microorganisms are. You must never have seen this microorganism. So I would like to tell you the bread. If you have seen the loaf of bread, if you keep it out of fridge for several days, you will be able to see a network-like structure on it. Sometimes grayish color, sometimes light blue color, white color. So these network-like structure is microorganism. Specifically, they are fungi. And different color shows different species of fungi. So this is microorganism. Curdling of milk, you must always have heard about this, curdling of milk. So this process takes place with the help of microorganism only. The lactobacillus present in milk helps in the formation of curd. Then production of bread, vaccines, antibiotics, etc. takes place with the help of microorganisms only. So now we will go through the basic properties of microorganisms. Microorganisms can again be divided into two categories, unicellular and multicellular. So unicellular, uni means one and cellular means made up of cells. So when an organism's body is made up of only a single cell, it is known as unicellular. This single body is responsible for performing various functions like nutrition, photosynthesis, respiration, circulation, reproduction, etc. All of these functions are performed by this single body. Example, bacteria, amoeba. Then in multicellular, multi means more than one. So when an organism's body is made up of more than one number of cells and they form a group, this group is responsible for performing a particular function. For example, this nutrition or circulation or any one function will be performed by this group. I'll explain you this in detail. We know this is a single cell. When it combines with another cells, it forms a structure called tissue. Then when more than one tissue forms a structure, it forms an organ. So for example, we have an organ, kidney, in our body. It is composed of many number of cells and tissues. All of these tissues are responsible for performing excretion process. In this way, heart is an organ. It performs circulation process. So there are specific number of organs we do have in our body which performs a particular function. Now we will see what are the different areas of microorganisms that we discuss in detail. There are 5 broad categories of microorganisms in which they are divided. I would like to tell you first of all the names of them and then we will discuss them in detail. Algae, fungi, virus, bacteria, and protozoa. So, first of all, we will discuss about algae. The singular term is alga, whereas plural term is algae. So we should not get confused with both of these terms. The study of algae is known as phycology. In water bodies, if you have seen rocks, stones or structure like this, you must have seen green color of layer on it. That is known as algae. So we can also say that algae are mostly present on water bodies. The water bodies can be fresh water bodies as well as stagnant. Then algae can be of two types, unicellular and multicellular as well. Unicellular, again as we have discussed, is made up of a single cell, and this single cell is capable of performing all the functions, whereas in multicellular, more than one cell is present and the functions are performed accordingly. The examples of unicellular organisms are Chlamydomonas, Spirillum, etc. And the example of multicellular, seaweed or kelp. The most important point about algae is that they are photosynthetic in nature. Photosynthetic means they have chlorophyll, so they are able to perform the function of photosynthesis. The next most important point about algae is they are beneficial for the survival of other species present in water or in their environment. How they are beneficial, we will see here. For example, this is a water body where these algae are present. There are other organisms as well. This green color signifies other organisms. Now we know that algae performs photosynthesis process. We will first of all write the general formula. In presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, carbon dioxide and water molecules will combine to form oxygen, glucose and water molecules. This glucose is used up by the cell of algae, whereas this oxygen is produced in the surrounding. This red colored algae produce this oxygen. When this oxygen is produced into the surrounding, into the environment of algae, the other species, these green colored species, they will use up this oxygen and will start surviving, or they will indirectly be dependent on algae for their survival. That's why we can say that algae are useful for survival of other organisms. Now we will see the structure of algae. This is an example of algae, Chlamydomonas. This is unicellular organism present in fresh water as well as stagnant water. It is spherical in shape, or you can also say oval. Spherical or oval in shape. The cell wall of this Chlamydomonas is made up of cellulose. It has a cup-shaped chloroplast. This chloroplast is beneficial for the process of photosynthesis. It has two flagella. These flagella are helpful in movement of this algae. Then it has pyrenoid. Nucleus is present. Nucleus again is the brain of the cell, so it performs or it maintains all the activities of this alga. Cell wall is there, pigment spot. So all of these are. We can also say that Chlamydomonas is motile in nature, means it can move from one place to another place. So in this way we have discussed algae. In the next video we will discuss bacteria and virus, and then in another video we will discuss fungi and protozoa.